getting started was really unique. And because Instagram kind of just popped on the scene, and I was kind of like on that early wave. I'm not going to say I was an adopter of Instagram because it's not my platform. I don't own it. But I was on it really, really early
Right.
and was just taking photos on my iPhone. Probably like iPhone 3 or 4 at that time,
Yeah.
and it's like you just running around the state of Washington, just taking photos on my phone.
Yeah.
And the only place in the avenue that I even had to really share those things was Instagram. And even in that kind of time frame, I was still like posting a lot of like life still, because it was just like still a social media platform. Sure. So I was just hanging out with friends and all that kind of stuff. And I had a buddy of mine that he got like 1,200 followers or something like that. And I'm like, dude, you don't even know 1,200 people. Like, you're from freaking Puyallup, Washington.
Yeah.
Like, how in the world? Like, this makes no sense. And so I started like gravitating towards all these trends on Instagram, because I was like, if my friend has more clout than me, like, this is a battle. Like, he's a lifelong best friend. So I'm like, it's immediate challenge. He's like almost like a brother. Mm-hmm. Like, we have to love each other. Like, we don't have a choice. Yeah. It's like that kind of relationship. It's the best. And so we were just chomping around Washington, just grabbing some awesome photos because it's so beautiful here. And the great outdoors here is just an easy avenue to just, I wasn't doing a lot of the work. Like, I was just showing up to a beautiful place, snapping a photo on my phone, and then I would edit it on VSCO, and then I would post it. And then people were really starting to gravitate towards it. But in that, like, I really started to fall in love with photography and started learning simple composition, started learning how to build an aesthetic, and starting to learn a lot of like the old rhythms of Instagram. Meanwhile, still like connecting with people from all over the world. Right. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, Instagram is allowing me to feel like I'm in a living room with so many people that have a like mind, that have a passion for just exploring and grabbing project photos, like people jumping in the middle of a frame and hashtagging Jumpstagram, or hanging off something and calling it Hangstagram, or whatever it might be, in these like early wave and tiers of like rhythms of Instagram. And I ended up started growing a little bit on my page, got up to like 4,500 followers, and then Instagram followed me. And you're probably familiar with the whole suggested user list. But at the time, like, if Instagram followed you, you go on the suggested user list. So people joining the platform could then have a list of people that they best believe represented their app. And so, like, a matter of 2 weeks, you'd go up like 20,000+ followers then, before it went like off the rails, and you're like, what is happening to these people that are suggested? Like, I don't even know if I want to be on that list. And it was still like it was all like real people, and it was before like all the crazy bots started jumping on the platform and all that kind of stuff. And so I went from like 4,500 to like 28,000, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? Like, I don't even own a camera. Like, I'm still on my iPhone. Like, I'm not like a photographer by any means at this point. And I would just say I was a photo guy and just someone that knew how to like just be in the mountains well. Like, I didn't have like a purpose behind it yet. And, and then literally 2 weeks later or something like that, I was on a BuzzFeed article. And it was 16 Instagrammers that make you want to grow a beard and move to the Pacific Northwest. Benj was also on that. Awesome. And it was just, it's really fun, because like I would never tell you that I was a photographer then. And I was just someone that really enjoyed the community aspect. I love being around people. So like, Instameets were my favorite thing in the world, because I'm meeting so many people in one place at one time. And it was just really a great headspace for me. Like, I loved the community aspect. And things really started to like take off. Like, the BuzzFeed article, it connected me to my wife. I already had known her from previous life. She actually dated Benj's younger brother, Alex. And it's hilarious, but they dated for like 6 months.
That's awesome.
And they both went off to college. Then like Karin went off to college to go play volleyball at Southern Oregon University. And then after she graduated, she went over to Thailand to go visit her parents. She's not Thai. Her mom works for the international school over there. And or did work at the international school over there. And so she went to go visit her parents. And at that same time the article happened, she saw the article, reached out to me on Facebook, and that's how we reconnected. And rest is kind of history. And from there, like, wasn't long after I got suggested again. And so like in such a short window of time, I went from like 4,500 followers to like over 60,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I might be like a photographer. Like, I don't, like it was like, it was still like that lingering question. And a friend of mine approached me and was like, hey, John, like you're really good at this. You need a camera. Can I buy you one? I want to invest into you.
Wow.